Welcome. In front of me is a Motorola Moto G82, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of the specs on this phone. So anyway, to get started, let's just pop it open. Okay. So right off the bat, you can obviously see the display, or not the display, the phone itself. So we do have just like couple info, 6.6 inch OLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate, 50 megapixel camera, and stereo speaker. Okay, that's not very important. So yeah, let's pop it out. Now the phone itself comes already with a case applied to it, as you can see. So that's kind of nice. And let's, before I actually peel that off, I'm gonna turn on the device. Okay, it's turning on. And let's just look what we got here. Some paperwork, so I'm not really gonna go into it. We got a charging cable, so type A to type C, which you can see right here. And a charger, which I assume will be probably like 30 watts. Usually have it written right here. So there we go. Oh, actually 33 watts. So there we go. It's a fairly decent charger with it, obviously included with the device. Now let's peel that off. There we go. So right off the bat, and here, as you probably seen from the sticker, like I mentioned, this is a 6.6 OLED display, or technically it's AMOLED. It has 120 Hz refresh rate. Now I can't see anything about HDR10 Plus, but because it's an AMOLED display, it should technically support it. I mean, it's AMOLED display, so all of them basically support it. So I'm not sure why it's not in here, but anyway. Now this is a 1080p by 2400 resolution, so basically the industry standard with almost every kind of spec right here in terms of the display. So 6.6 1080p AMOLED 120, fairly good display. No problems here. Now flipping it over to the back, we have a triple camera setup. And we have a 50 megapixel wide sensor, we got an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and we got a 2 megapixel sticker camera, which is apparently macro, which is also, and not apparently, it's most definitely a useless garbage trash that is included with the device. Now the reason why I'm trashing this macro camera is because it's going to be outperformed without a shadow of a doubt by the 50 megapixel wide sensor. So macro camera allows you to get in really close to whatever you're trying to take a picture of. For instance, if I would take like just pebbles right here, macro camera allows you to get like really up close, where the just a couple pebbles will be taking up the entire shot in full detail. Now the problem with 2 megapixel is that it's so low in megapixels that the 50 megapixel 2x zoom will outperform this picture in every way. Number one will be the quality, because it's a main shooter, so it will have more megapixels to work with, better exposure, and additionally just much better resolution of the photo. All that combined just comes out to be a significantly better macro shot than this tiny little garbage right here. So if you drop a phone, this lens cracks or something, like, don't worry, it was never good to begin with, and you should never really use it in general. So yeah, now moving on to the front, where we have a hole punched camera. This is a 16 megapixel wide sensor. Now with all those cameras, whichever one you pick, the max video recording that I can choose is 1080p 30 frames. So sorry if you were looking for like 60 or maybe even 4K, it's not accessible here. And we only have one version of this device, unlike majority of the other phones where they have like several choices. So here we have 128 gigs of storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM. This is the only option for this device, and you don't have any other ones. And let's quickly see. I think we most likely will have a expandable storage, but I will make sure. If I can locate my little pin to take out the SIM tray. Oh, there we go. Found it. So yeah, we have an SD card and SIM tray. Now the SD card does double as a SIM tray, so you can use 2 different SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 SD card. And finishing this off, we have a fairly big battery size for the phone. It is, I would say, much lighter and slimmer than I would expect from the battery. So this is a 5000 milliamp hour battery in here, and it should charge very quickly with a 33 watt charger. And in terms of processor right here, we are rocking a Snapdragon 695, which is a 5G chipset, allowing you for the obviously 5 gigahertz connectivity. So if you were looking for a phone like this, this is obviously a phone that can do it. And additionally, I will mention this because there's a lot of budget devices that come with like 5G. I don't recommend getting a phone, a budget phone with 5 gigahertz in it. This one is more of a mid-range device with, it comes at a mid-range price of $500. So this one I would say is a fairly decent choice if you're looking for a phone that will work well and also have 5G connectivity. The reason why I don't recommend it for budget devices is because they are usually already fairly crap in terms of the performance, and 5G, at least where I'm from right now, is not as the infrastructure for it isn't as good right now. So by the time I can utilize the 5G, the phone will be obsolete. So I'm paying extra for something that I won't be able to utilize. So if you're looking for a 5G phone in general, do make sure that when you're going for like a phone, it can last you several years. So if your infrastructure and wherever you live can catch up to the actual phone. Now, that being said, let's continue with this, which the only thing that I guess I have left is just a couple additional features. So we do have a fingerprint sensor on the power key. It doubles as a power key, as you can see. Oh, there we go. So that's one. Number 2, as a feature nowadays, we have a headphone jack. I can't get used to the fact that this now is a feature. And it looks like that's about it. So honestly, for $500, I have to say that this phone seems to be fairly decent for the price. It obviously has a fairly good display. Display is probably the main focus point here. And 5G, obviously. And other than that, I don't have any problems. It seems like a well-rounded device that should work very well for majority of the people. Obviously, it won't be super strong in terms of like gaming. So if you're planning to play some Genshin Impact on it on like maxed out settings, you might struggle a bit. But for a typical everyday use, web browsing, mail, Instagram and stuff like that, obviously it will breeze through all those tasks without any problem, and it comes at a fairly decent price. So, that being said, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.